37, 47, and 54. Support below at 98, 88, 78, 70, and 62. Pivot 08, support at 98, 88, 78, 70, and 62. Resistance on the upside at 15, 28, 37, 47, and 54. All right. Welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities the market might give us to take advantage of scalping opportunities. The way the markets are trading, we're looking probably maybe 4 or 5 points on our rotations, maybe even 3 or 4. I think some of the volatility has slowly been sucked out of the market after yesterday's rally and then continued overnight. So it was, they broke above that Friday, last Monday's top of the trading range, dominating bar, and the market continued to push up here after that yesterday. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. We are trying to we're trading mini S&Ps here based on opportunities to scalp the market on the levels that we gave out, in addition to price action opportunities that might occur once the market paints some bars. The combination of both those gives us our opportunities to scalp the market for, like I said, probably about 3 or 4 points. And that changes depending on volatility. Every day has its own uniqueness to it. So there's not one day that's the same, and not so consequently we have to look at the volatility, and that can change intraday as well. So it's not just a, this is it, nothing's going to change. Things do change depending on the opportunities or the volatility, I should say, that's out there. All right. Quickly come down here now, kind of break through, come down here. We're looking at the 98 areas, or first level of support on the downside. See what it wants to do. It's getting a little bit volatile here, so we'll see. Don, how you doing? Got down to 99. I don't know if you were able to scale in that well. Maybe we'll get the 98s after all. Still the first bar here. Good. I am need you to help me out next week, and I'll try to make sure that Mark's around, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday again of next week. If you're going to be around, if you can do it. All right, we went down to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday. Went down to 99 and popped back up. I don't know if some of you were able to scale in or not. Let's see. Yeah. Well, no, I'll be let's see here. I'll be back. No, I'll be back on the 15th. Oh, back to 13. I got. Sorry. Didn't quite get what you were stating there. Gotcha. All right. We dipped down to the 99 area there, again, against our 98. So be a little bit careful there if you are taking the 98 right now, based on this first rotation to it. And we'd like to get filled. If you didn't get filled down there around the 98 area, then it's a lot more riskier now that you missed it. I mean, we missed it by a point, but some of you scaled in and some of you got it, so it's not everybody missed it. All right, coming back up here to, we got a little resistance around the 15 area. So you're in here around 15, I don't know. Again, we do the same thing we did yesterday. We go from our first level to this first level on the upside, first level on the downside, and reverse this time. Again, depending on how you're scaling in, right? Maybe you got in here already at the 15 area. Obviously, we didn't get 15, but we did get 14 and a half there. Hopefully some of you were able to get in. Again, we are scaling into an area. So you're obviously not going to, we're not going to be perfect, right? I mean, we've talked about this many a time. And we're getting a nice rotation here off of our 15 area as well. So nice little trades here against our first couple levels that we had. Again, if you are trading with us, we are trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on ebbs and flows. We don't believe markets go straight up or straight down. We're trying to find these inflection points that give us an opportunity to scalp. Again, we're getting 3 or 4 points out of these trades, in addition to other price action opportunities. We like to average about 4 to 5 trades a day. And, you know, we probably get about 4 or 5 trades easily these days. The volatility has been very strong, so the opportunities are there. And the most important thing is to make sure you keep your stop in place so that we don't get caught in any one of these moves that go against us or that don't work for us, or a price action opportunity doesn't seem to play itself out. Doesn't matter, because you're always going to get another opportunity to trade. It's really that simple. So. Got a nice rotation here off of our first 2 levels that we had on the upside and the downside. Hopefully we were able to get one of them, if not both of them. And now we're just coming down here and just kind of getting back into the middle of this overnight range that it created. So nice little couple trades for us there early on. It's always a good way to start the morning, right? Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. Next level on the upside we have is up at the 28 area. Many are still trying to size up the Fed's monetary policy for 22 as the market heads into February. What we know so far is complex bank, so far as the central bank will begin hiking rates in March, assuming that the conditions are appropriate for doing so. But it's anybody's guess as to how aggressive the Fed will be after that, as it tries to stuff out strongest pace of inflation in decades. This is also a debate over when the Fed will start reducing the balance sheet, May, June, or July. though it's made it clear in the last meeting the pandemic era bond buying will come to an end at the end of next month. So they're still trying to guess how many rates for 22, rate hikes for 22. Estimates on Wall Street now range from 3 rate increases all the way up to 7, with the Fed funds projected to be at the end of the year between a range of 1.25 to 2%, currently at 0 to 0.25%. Things they're done. If you look at those of you who just walked in here, if you look at the chat box area, you'll find the levels there for us typed out. Barclays says that there are 3 within reserve balances of over 4 trillion and nearly 1.5 trillion in reserve repos. We expect it to be difficult for short-term interest rates to trade much above the interest rate floor. Morgan Stanley says 4. If we needed rates to hike fast, they will come. The Fed is showing urgency and being flexible. Goldman says 5. We see a risk in the FOMC that will want to take some tightening action every meeting until inflation picture changes. Bank of America says 7. The Fed has all but admitted it's seriously behind the curve. With that said, the markets are doing the Fed's job by tightening financial conditions without the actual hike. Okay. So that's the range of what the market is trying to build in, and it seems to acknowledge it. See what happens next. 8:45 in about 3 minutes here. We've got PMI manufacturing index that's coming out. Then at 9 o'clock, top of the hour, we've got ISM manufacturing and then construction spending. So in about 3 minutes, PMI Purchasing Managers Institute manufacturing index, and then the ISM manufacturing index at 10. So a couple numbers here to be concerned about if you are trading, and we don't like to have positions on when we're trading. No, I will be out of town. All right, Philip, thank you. All right, like I said, we were not going to take the 98 here because of reasons we talked about earlier. It kind of makes sense because we kind of tested it already, so we're going to take that. So now we're looking at the 88 area on the downside. It's okay. Can't complain though. Made a little money and you'll be on your way. Getting a little bit whippy here. Next support level we have is down at the 88. Getting a little bit choppy here. Again, the nice rotation here off of, and the number is going to be coming out here in about a minute, so less than that, like momentarily. So if you have a position, I'd be a little bit careful here as this number is going to be released, and it's just released right now. Maybe they kind of got a sneak peek at it right before. Maybe that's why you had that little break there, right? Would I put it past them? No. So maybe they kind of knew. Who knew? I don't know. Who would know? These numbers are supposed not to just come out when they're supposed to come out. Who knows? Just saying. Could have happened. All right. We are continuing to have a little weakness here. We've got another number coming out here at the top of the hour here at 9 o'clock. We'll see what that does to the market. All right, market's staying a little bit weak here. Looking at their next support level down at the 88 area. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box, please. We don't mind questions. We're trading mini S&Ps here. Look for opportunities to scalp the market. Right now, about 3 to 4 points on these opportunities. Again, that could change. If you've been with us last week, we were 7 or 8 point rotations with the volatility that's in there. That was in there. You had to take consideration the slippage that might be occurring in the market, and that attributed to the larger stops. But hopefully you were able to, again, and I said last week too, if the volatility was too great, then just be patient and wait for the market to kind of settle down a little bit, and it has. Well, it's very difficult to assume that kind of volatility was going to continue forever. So again, we are trading mini S&Ps, and if you look at the chat box area, we will have the levels up there that we gave out this morning as a guide to the day. VIX is at 24. Wow. We were at the 30s, high 30s last week, so we can see how with this VIX at 24 is a good number for us to trade. I think it's a very doable number. All right, there are the levels again for us in the chat box in case you missed them earlier. Those are the ones there to help us guide us through our day. Again, we can add to them, subtract from them, tweak them a little bit, adjust them, all based on the price action, all based on the volatility that's out there. We can, the dynamics of the trade also, we talked about how the 90, we got down to 99 initially, and then the 98 wasn't going to work. So we have to, adjust those if you didn't get 98 straight up. Then you had to make sure you understood why you'd have to cancel the 98 straight up if you went down to 99. And kind of the same thing on the upside there, where we got up to 47. We got up to 1475. And the 15 on the upside is not going to be as strong as it was initially, or like we would have liked it to be. All right, quick rotation here, coming back up here to our blue band area. All right, nice rotation here off of our blue band area. If you were looking for that opportunity there, worked out very nicely. Some of your blue banders took that trade. So you guys have a name, the blue banders. It's cool. I think it's cool that you guys got a name. A nice rotation against it. Now we're just kind of looking. We're looking for price action opportunities that occur. That was a price action opportunities. There are times when you take it, obviously, and times when you don't. Market is it's still in a bit of a range here. We had 88 on the downside. It got down to 92, 91-ish area, and then popped back up. And now we have another number going to be released here in about 7 minutes. So keep that in mind if you're trading. Right, the market continues to downtick here, came bounced off of our blue band area there very nicely, and now continues to downtick. So we do have ISM manufacturing index and the construction spending coming out here at in about 4 minutes. I guess we were stuck in this little range here, range bound here a little bit. This is a good place to be patient and wait for opportunities to trade. We do have a number coming out here in about a minute, so be mindful of that if you're considering trading. We like to be flat when numbers are released, just because I seem to have got caught in many numbers that seem to not go my way, and I'm like, why did I do that? So instead of me saying you say that, I'm going to say it for you and save you the trouble. All right, so we got to release this number right now and see what happens. Still, the support is down at the 88. Cool. They lightened up that ladder ticket very well there, right? There's like 10 lots there, up and down the ladder ticket. So a nice little uh, market taking advantage or trading off of this number. As you can see, it's a little bit volatile here. quickly coming down to our 88 area there. This is where you like to have your scale in already, like I did, and get filled on both ends really fast and take a nice little rotation profit here off of our level. Again, that was a little risky if you had it in there, but you can see the risk reward type of situation here where I scaled in around the 88, 89, and then 87 and a half. And I got filled on all of those, and nice rotation back up here. Sometimes you need the number to help you. Again, it's a matter of risk reward, right? It could have easily gone the other way for me, but I scaled in. I had my orders in place. It wasn't as normal, my normal size that I would put on. It was a lot less than that, but at least I was in place in my level that I felt confident in. And we had a nice little rotation here. And that's why you have to have your orders in place sometimes, because you never know when you're going to get some movement in the market that creates the opportunity for the trade. But at the same time, even though my trades were in, my stops were in place as well. So it just so happened that the market kind of held and then run through and gave me a nice little rotation to the upside. Next level on the downside I have is down at 78. So this number created an opportunity. I don't like to have the position on when the number comes out, because that is where it flushes you one way, and if you're wrong, then you're stuck. And that's what I'm talking about. But the level was far enough away from the number that I had a little bit of confidence to put in. Like I said, I didn't have my normal number of contracts that I put on there, but I had my stops in place as well when it reached it. Maybe some of you were able to do that. And like I said, you had a nice rotation here off of it. Next level of support we have is down at the 78 area. So I had a little overreaction to the number, but it kind of worked out okay. Next level downside we have is 78. Right, market continues to downtick here a little bit. All right, market continues to downtick here, looking at support down at 78. Quickly coming down here to the 78 area. Kind of flushing through here a little bit. Just make sure you keep your stops in place no matter what. All right, if the market is giving a little bit of a chance here to get out of some contracts, if you don't like the price action, taking a little bit of a profit, maybe lessen the risk here a little bit, and trying to not give us this rotation here. Had to go plunge down to 74 there, and then pop back up for us. 74 was our backup, so nice little push here off of the 78 area there. That one you had to work a little bit. That one was a little bit tricky. It wasn't as easy as the other ones, but hey, it still worked out very nicely, and it gave us a nice little opportunity here. So our levels have worked very nicely for us so far this morning. Again, it's a matter of understanding the risk and then adapting to it as trades go on. The number here really is affecting that trade much more than I thought. It was pretty well. They do look at that number a lot, but all right, nice little trade there for us. If you did jump in. All right. So we are getting some good opportunities against our levels that we gave out. If we can repeat the levels in the chat, you'll see the levels in the chat box area for those of you who might have missed it. We gave out those levels at the beginning of the trading day. We've been moving around pretty good here, considering it's kind of slow. There they are for you. You can see the support levels there, 98, 88, 78. Those have all worked very nicely for us. Next support level we have is down at the 62 area. Let me give you some levels here on the downside below 62. We've got 46, 36, and 28. So below 62, we got 46, 36, and 28. Now, we don't know which way markets are going to go, what's going to happen each day. All we can do is trade the market on an everyday basis. Sometimes somebody wants to tell me that, oh, the market was rallying, we should have just got long. Yeah, I wish I knew that the market was going to rally, and that's all we needed to do was get long, or in today's situation, get short. But, we were trading up at the 05. You had a chance to get short there against the 05, 04 area if you wanted to, once the market opened up. And then we held our blue band and held the opening the settlement price. And if you look at the chat box area, you'll find the additional levels that we are going to put on the downside. Thanks there, Don. Appreciate it. All right, nice rotation. Got up to your 90 there, Don. Hopefully you hung in there with it. Good. Again, everybody trades differently. Nobody here trades the same way. You're a position trader, you're finding areas and you're finding targets that are bigger, shorter than ours, then that's fine. There's no right way of doing this. You have to find a way that suits your risk tolerance and trade it accordingly. All right, nice rotation there. Off of those lows, the orders have come back in the market here a little bit. The resistance around the 045 area. Anything above 7, you want to be out of any shorts. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. Hey, Don, you are, that's going to everyone. Good morning there. We are trading mini S&Ps here, looking for opportunities to scalp the market. Many S&Ps are futures and equities in the United States. We're looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on the ebbs and flows. We use levels that we gave out this morning. If you look at the chat box area, you'll find the levels that are in there for you. Those levels are areas of focus that we try to look at to try to give us our opportunities to trade. Um, and then there are price action opportunities in addition to those as well. Combination of both gives us those opportunities to trade, and we look for probably about I don't know, about 4-5 trades on average. Lately, obviously, because of the volatility, we've been getting a lot more than that. All right, the market continues to uptick again. We have resistance between the 03 to 04 or 5 area. Anything above 7, you want to be out of any shorts. All right, so we're kind of stuck in this little no trade zone area here. Yeah, that's been happening a lot lately, right? Of course, the blue band's there, man. What do you expect? All right, again, coming up here to this, again, anything above the 5 level there, the 7 level, out of any shorts. If you're ever going to take this right now, I don't know. Especially since we bounced off of our blue band earlier. A little resistance area right in here if you're going to trade it. Again, we have to be a little aggressive about it and only trade it if you're bored a little bit. Otherwise, we'll look for a little bit of a buy there above the 7, looking for a push to, well, we got up to 14.5 before, so I don't know if you're going to really trade that area. But nice rotation here against this 5 area. We said 3 to 5, a nice push down here. If you wanted to get a little short there, we had a nice little price action short scalp here for us. Again, it's a matter of knowing where your stop is, putting your stop in place, getting in and entering your orders, and that way you get everything's. Sometimes you have to go backwards, right? You find where your exit strategy is, and then put in your order so you can take advantage of the opportunity. And this was a perfect example. We knew we had to get out above 7, but so you got up to the 5 area there. We said we had resistance between 3 and 5, and a nice opportunity to scalp the market against that area there. The initial payment is just so that you can be a member of this room and trade with us and get the levels that we give out. If you're trading futures and equity futures, that's what we do here. It's a trading room, and we're giving you levels. So those are again, there's no reason that you have to stay here if you don't want to. And we do offer education. That's another aspect of what we do here. There's an education package. And we do the education is taught online as well. All right, nice rotation there against our blue band. Yeah, 12 is like in the middle of the road there. Even I don't know why you got it. but I'm not one to argue with you. So, all right, we definitely got a little bit of a range here between our blue band and this 94 area. Seems that we've gotten stuck in this little range, not the big range, but nonetheless a range. So be a little bit careful. Definitely had a reason to trade the blue band there. I don't know about this 94 too much, but or now it's breaking through it a little bit. But you definitely had a reason to get short up on top. And if you did that, you got paid off here very nicely. We talked about getting short earlier in the first rotation up there, and that worked out very nicely for us. Getting a little bit choppy here. And we had a pretty good morning with our levels this morning. So consequently, if you made a little bit of money and you're happy with that, then it gets this choppiness, gets a little tough to trade now. You're going to have a lot of discipline to be able to be patient and wait for levels to get triggered or a price action opportunity to get in place. Either way, patience is important. All right, getting getting here very choppy right now. All right, market is definitely chopping around here a little bit. Got to be a little bit patient here. You have to pick your spots and wait for the opportunities to present themselves. We have to average. We like to average about 4 to 5 trades a day. I think we've gotten that easily lately these days. Definitely gotten that today. And we've gotten our levels that got triggered for us, in addition to a couple price action opportunities that were there for us. So the combination of both those gave us those trades that we were looking for. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them down in the chat box. Getting very, very choppy here. What levels do we take? What trades do we take at the levels? Well, we took all our support levels there at 98, 78, and 88. Well, actually, the 98 it got down to 99. So if you scaled in around that level, then you did okay. We talked about not once it retested that 99 area, we weren't taking it because we got down to 90. It got down to 99, so we weren't going to take the 98 level. We talked about that when we were on when we got there. And then the next level we were looking at is the 88, which we did take and had a nice quick rotation, but that was on the number. You had to have your orders in place, and I got a quick 5-point rotation off of that. Then the next level here was the 78 area, which it got down to 74. Again, we talked about a 3 or 4 point stop. Some of you maybe got stopped out, others maybe were able to take advantage of it. And it had a nice rotation off of that 78 area that we had. On the upside, we had resistance at 15. Again, you had to scale in. It got up to 1450. And if you did scale in, then you got filled and had a nice rotation off of that, which is the high of the day. We also had some price action opportunities that occurred. We suggested there were some resistance between 3 and 5 earlier, and anything above 7, you want to be out of any shorts. And that was a nice rotation up here to our blue band, the 3 to 4 to 5 area early on, that we had a nice trading opportunity to get short and take a nice rotation off of that. So those are trades that we've had, and there was a couple of price action opportunities that occurred. If you're a little aggressive, maybe some of you took it, maybe you didn't. Some of those price action opportunities, what we teach in our education course, in addition to the levels are there for you. We show you why you need them, how to find them, why they would work, and then and also how to use your stops accordingly. And the goal of our education course is for you to be able to find these levels on your own, and also find the price action opportunities independent of myself. So But those are the trades we had today, based on the levels that we gave out, any price action opportunities that were out there. There were probably a couple more price action opportunities that were there, but we didn't talk about all of them. Had some good market movement this morning, so it's definitely given us the opportunities to trade. Did you get the levels that we had out this morning? And if you didn't, those are the levels that we are using for kind of guide to the day. We've already added some to the downside here, as we don't know which ones are going to go, but we added some levels to the downside. Well, they're the levels for you in the chat, and those are the levels, like I said, we can use as a guide to the day. And we gave those out when the market opened up. Again, we're looking to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market. We don't believe markets go straight up or straight down. Consequently, we're looking for scalping opportunities. Scalping stops and profit targets are all depending on the volatility that's out there. Like I said earlier this morning, probably about 3 to 4 point stops, depending on your risk tolerance. Everybody has different risk tolerances. And the volatility also is a way that you can gauge our stops, where we would put them, and those stops and targets could change based on intraday activity. Like if there's a number that's to be released, like there was a number at 9 o'clock that created a little volatility. So you have to take that into account if you are trading, and understand that there's might be some extra slippage involved when there is a fundamental news being released. Some of you trade the fundamental. Some of you like to trade fundamental news, some don't. Either way, you have to understand the risk involved and trade it accordingly. And what we try to do here is we try to explain the risk. And we start here every day when the market opens up around 8:30 Chicago time. So then we give out these levels. And if you're a trader and you trade mini S&Ps, that's what we do here. In addition to the levels that we gave out, we also have an education course that we, like I said, to show you how to find these areas of these levels and why they would work, and what we think each individual's risk is involved. It depends on the individual risk tolerance. And so people trade different contracts, different numbers. Not everybody trades the same. All these things have to be considered when you are trading. All right, next level on the downside, because we've gone through some of the levels. Really, we don't have any good support till we get down to 70. The rest of these trades, there are some other trades in there, but again, they're a little riskier, and it all depends on your risk tolerance. The 150 is just for entry into our trading room. The education courses are extra, as they're more intense and more involved, and also more personal, one-to-one basis. The blue band is just a Bollinger Band, nothing, not something that this is just a Bollinger Band. All right, again, the next good support level we have is down at 70. Obviously, there's a little support there at around the 80 area. Yeah, 80 if you're a little aggressive. Uh, Again, everybody here has different risk tolerances. So if you met your goals for today, because we've had some nice trades and you're content with that, then, there's always tomorrow. Um, and so you don't have to trade. Maybe you can just do levels or trade levels if you're so inclined. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. You can see I have no problem answering questions. um, all right, then, and yeah, Michael, Brad, who is the other guy that's in here. If you give us your contact info, like a telephone number, he'll give you a call and we can talk about that. And if you just put it, nobody else will see your telephone number if you just put it to host and panelist, which is how you have it. So nobody else sees your telephone number and we can reach out to you and talk to you about it. Thanks. Thank you, Michael. Mike. All right. And like I said earlier, we focus on the morning hours to give us our better opportunities to trade. And that's on the dynamics of the morning trade is definitely different than the dynamics late afternoon. So if you have another business or you're doing other stuff, you can have the afternoon to do whatever. I think the morning trade is gives us good opportunities based on the work and methodology that we have. The trading dynamics, the volatility, the number of traders that are out there, the volume, all kind of that as the day goes on and wears away, those dynamics change. I think there are more trade in the morning, and we kind of focus for what we try to do here with our morning trade more than anything else because it gives us the opportunities work well for us during the morning hours versus the as the trade goes on. Definitely, the last hour has its own uniqueness to it. It's more of a one-way trade, and hopefully, we are done by that. That's for sure. So we focus more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities. Obviously, the dynamics. I mean, the levels are there to work throughout the whole day, and uh, the levels would probably work throughout the whole day. And the thing that the price action opportunities are a little bit different, like I said, because the dynamics are different as the day goes on. So those will be a little bit different in the afternoon trade. But I mean, averaging 4 or 5 trades a day also keeps our cost of doing business low because we don't like to give just needless money to brokerage houses on commissions. So we kind of keep that tight too as well to keep our money for ourselves. All right. All right, we can see here we're getting a little bit choppy. This is what I like to call the no trade zone right now because it could do anything. We could break out, we could rally, we could break, we could go back down, straighten the range. You know, it's a 10, 12 point range that we're flipping back and forth. It's a hefty range. And if you are a range trader, then you're doing okay with it. But again, you have to be mindful of what the risks are involved if you're a range trader. And also make sure once we break out above the or below the range that you keep your stops in place. But everybody's got different ways of trading. Not everybody trades the same way. So some people like the range trade. Not my cup of tea. We go till about 10:30 or 11 o'clock, depending on volatility. You know, like right now, it's kind of getting to a point where there's not much here as far as what we're trying to do. So you got to be very patient and kind of wait. And then, like I said, if we stay in this range, it's not really going to do much. It's kind of tough for us to get too involved, especially if we're trading within some of our levels that we already tested. Then we're looking more at price action opportunities to trade, especially if the day goes on. If we stay in this range, then it becomes a lot harder to trade, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And we're also trying to keep you away from. But because of the volatility last week, we were all over the place. So we were definitely, we maybe had 10 trades within the first hour, hour and a half of trading. It's just hard for me to keep talking when we're range bound, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's easier for me and for you not to hear me say the same thing over and over again. You know, if we're moving around a little bit and the markets are rotating and giving us opportunities, it's totally different ball game. But I think we get you get ample opportunities to make some decent money in a couple hours in the morning than you do probably trading the whole day. I mean, I've traded the whole day, and it's not easy to do, and it wears on you, and you're not as sharp if you just keep putting in orders on. It just gets a little bit tough. Mentally draining, as you imagine. All right, we're coming back up here, trying to hold, maybe getting a little bit bullish if we hold this 95 area. We got to get above 7 on the upside for it to get really bullish. It's starting to get a little bit bullish now, but we'll see. Not really, not yet anyway. Got to get above 7. If we get above 7, we might go retest the 15 on the upside. And this is where I say you got to be careful here with the range game, because you start playing the range game and we have this extension here, then now what do you do? Do you take your stop? Do you get out? You stay with it, hoping it goes back down? Too much stress for me. As it is, we have enough stress trading without the added stress of some trades that are hard to try to figure out what it's going to do next. All right, well, come up here again. We have to get above 7 here for us to maybe go retest the highs. It's trying. Well, I mean, what does that mean? Uh, we went all the way down to 74. So when we give you our levels here, we're trying to find opportunities to scalp. So when we got down to, we actually didn't get down to 98. We got down to 99 and popped back up to 04. So we're scalping the market. So we're looking for about, depending on volatility, 3 or 4 points on each trade that we're looking at. So we had a rotation off of that 90. Well, we got down to 99, and then because of the way the market was trading, I said the 98. If you had 98, it wasn't going to work. We were looking at our next level on the downside, which was 88. We did drift down to 87 and then pop all the way back up to the 94, 95 area. So we had like 5 or 6 points on that trade. And then we got down to the 78 area next, which we were scaling in, got down to 74 and then popped all the way back up. So again, we were trying to scalp the market, and then we got short above here at the when we rotated back up to the 045 area, because like I said earlier, anything above 7, we want to be out of any shorts, and we had a nice trade there as well. So we're buying and selling at the same. We're not really trying to hit home runs, and we got down just 10 minutes ago down to the 83 area, and then rotated all the way back up here to what's trading up at 08 right now. So all we're trying to do is find areas of that the prices will give us an opportunity to scalp. Like I said, depending on volatility, 3 or 4 points a trade. If we can get that, and you multiply it by a number of contracts, multiply it by a number of trades you get in a day, then there you're having your opportunities to make some money without we're trying to minimize risk here. And when we're scalping, we're not trying to expand our risk and hold on to stuff to watch it to go from 98 all the way down to 74 and then back up here to 08. That's not what we're trying to do. Again, it's a methodology, right? It's a methodology of trading that we're looking for support and resistance areas that we can get rotations off of, opportunities to trade. So again, we're not position trading where we're going to buy it and hold it. The markets are moving around too much and too fast and wide ranges that you kind of taking, if you're going to take one position and it goes against you, you're taking a big drawdown. So we're trying to minimize the drawdowns here and to try to scalp the market. We get enough drawdowns when we're scaling in and getting into trades when the markets are volatile. Definitely, if you're going to position trade, and you're going to take a drawdown on a position one way or the other, it's going to be hefty because the markets are moving in such wide ranges. So we try to minimize those opportunities, minimize those drawdowns, and also minimize the risk involved by trying to pick our spots instead of constantly looking for one position and jumping in. I don't know if that makes sense, but All right, so the market got above the 7 there, got all the way up to about 8.5, 9 area, and then coming back down again, very, very choppy. Uh, and uh, and again, not a very tough little trade now, as you can imagine. A little bit bullish here as long as we stay above the 95 area. But again, it's all the drawdowns that matter. And so finding an area to get in is what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get long, I mean, we're just chopping around right now. So I easily go rotate right back down the way this is, again, has mind of its own, right? Doesn't really, not really doing much for us. We had good opportunities this morning. So we're just kind of watching level on the upside. We have next level on the upside really is nothing till up until 28. So a little, not as far as some resistance is concerned, we got really nothing. A little bit of a buy there. Well, I thought there would be a buy. Definitely wanted to be out of any shorts at 7. Obviously, you can see here they faked out. They got up to 8.5 and came back down here. So if you're going to stay long, you can stay long as long as we stay above the 95 area and see what it wants to do. Definitely a little bit bullish, but as long as we stay above 95. Now, how you trade that is up to you, right? I mean, I'm not one to tell you that I like any trade here. I mean, I do like our levels, and I may be a little bit of a buy there around the 97 area, but right now, you maybe could have bought evens if you're a little aggressive. Again, it all depends on what you're looking for as an individual trader. We can show you what those levels of support and resistance are. Now you have to make decisions on your own whether you want to get in or not. We could tell you why we turned a little bit bullish that we could do, and you have to try to make that determination on your own. The point of our education course is for you to become an independent trader, to make decisions, understand why you're making those decisions, and see if the market will follow through on what your decision making process is all about. And that's what we're trying to do here, try to make you understand the market just a little bit better. Remember, we're trading every day here, so dynamics change every day. The dynamics change different within 10 minutes sometimes, especially if you're trading every day. Everything definitely has its own set of dynamics. The market is unique in that way. It's the only place that you can find such diversity, I guess I would say. Again, the markets every day is different, right? There's no one day here that's kind of the same. It's the good and the bad, right? That's funny there, Don. All right, again, keeping you a little bit bullish here based on the price action. Looking for the rotations out. Obviously, we set above 7. Don't want to be short anymore. We drifted back down to even, and then coming back up here to these highs. Definitely bullish a little bit on the market. Again, where you get in is dependent on what your risk tolerances are. We also said below 95, you don't want to be long anymore. So you got to find where your exit strategy is, and consequently find an entry point that suits your risk tolerance. As you can see here, it's getting a little bit choppy, but we're looking, at least for the time being, on the long side a little bit. Again, trying to keep you a little bit on the long side here, looking for a push higher. Retest this 14, 15 area. That's where your first exit would be out if you're trying to stay long. And then above that, we're looking at the 28 level as our next level of resistance. All right, again, giving you a little bit long, looking for a push higher. First area, if you were trying to take some profits, looking at this 14 to 15 area. And if you're trying to stay short, just have a trailing stop. I mean, long. Trying to stay long, have a trailing stop here. So again, this is what I talk about drawdowns. This gets a little bit tough in this market. We got in, we said above 7. You don't want to be short, and they get above 7, but it rotated back down to the even area. Maybe if you were looking to get long, maybe that was an area to buy. But we said also below 95, you want to be out of any longs. So you could have, maybe bought the 95 with 5-point stop, looking for a 5-point rotation to the upside, which you got, or just tried to get in better, maybe 97, 98. And now you're just kind of flat because we are getting this rotation up here, but it's a matter of, how to get long or where to get long. again, trying to keep it here alongside a little bit as the market continues to slowly uptick. Definitely, dynamics of the market have changed. We were maybe looking shorts earlier, but not anymore. Now we're looking little finding areas to get long, but as long as we stay above the 95 area. We talked about, we could have found out, it's trying to uptick, but if we get above the 15, 16 area, then we're looking at the 28 as our next level of resistance. But as you can tell here, the volume has kind of went down a little bit. The volatility has decreased a little bit. It's moving around, but you got to be very patient and pick your spots, find a good place to enter. Kind of, see what the market is telling you, trade off of what the market is saying to you. And at least for a time being, you try to find a place to get long, but that can change. But this is what happens in the middle of the ranges that we've gone through our ranges that you're trying to find price action opportunities. So it becomes a little bit tougher to trade. And that's why we focus on the morning. And then when it starts rotating through our levels, it becomes a little bit tougher. Well, million plus at 10 o'clock, you mean? Yeah, we're at 780 right now at 1020. Yeah. It's still not bad. I mean, if we can have this kind of trade, I think we'd all be happy. We're still getting some nice volatility. So All right, market got, again, no follow through, so it got a little double top there, and now it's coming back down. Again, anything below 95 out of any longs. So finding an entry point to get long is what if you're trying to do here, at least for a time being. If we get below 95, then that kind of changes as well, and it kind of goes into the same kind of mode here that we talked about earlier about the market kind of getting choppy. Yeah, that sure did. Ask and you shall receive there, Don. All right, again, we talked about maybe there if you were looking to get long against backdrop of the 95 stop. And we got down to 99 and change there. And maybe if you did get long, looking to get long, they said we were looking at areas to get long. That was an area there to get long around the even area. And then we had a nice rotation here off of it. So we maybe took 5 points heat with the 5 point profit target. And right now you got that and then some. So we are getting a nice rotation here off of some support levels that we talk about, and they're giving us some good ebbs and flows. So patience is important here. Waiting for the opportunities to present themselves is important. And again, you got to be patient and wait for the level to get triggered before you get too caught up in not doing anything. So you have to be patient, wait, and then hopefully good things happen. And we're trying to keep you long, looking for a push above the 15, looking for a push up. The next level really is not till 28. So we might stay in this range though all day. Who knows? But we'll see. Maybe it's consolidating here a little bit after a very tenacious week last week. I had a very good Monday. Yesterday was a very good day for the market. So considering we kind of broke through that upper level from last Monday, that dominating bar, and then pushing up here now. All right, get back here in a bit.
Hey, Saul. Appreciate a great morning session. This is Trade Along Live with Saul, 9 a.m. to 12 noon trading days, with the body of the trading happening between 9:30 when he gives out his proprietary scalping levels, and about 11:30. It looks to be done earlier if possible. For those that are interested in sticking around, I'll send out a special link. Usually here it's $3.99 a month. We've got it on for $150 a month. If you do 3 months, it's $400. So that's another significant savings. It's going to come out to everybody now. Take a moment to sign yourself up. Don't miss the opportunity. We do have individuals that just go to the website and pay $3.99. We appreciate it. They're not really interested in a discount, but the discount's there if you choose to take it. And we appreciate it. Become part of our friends and family. Yeah, Michael M., I did ring you up on the telephone. Let me know. Just ring me back when you get a chance. I left a message for you. Marlies, let me know what you're doing. Marlies. Hey, Gray, welcome back. Gray, did you sign up for Saul's Friends and Family? I think you did. Just let me know back in chat. If I don't hear from people, I think you're a robot. If I think you're a robot, I just exit you. Rodney, let me know what you're thinking now. Hazer Hool, Timothy, Robert, Philip, Patrick, welcome aboard. Let me know what you're thinking. Mike, same. Hey, Jack, how are you today? Frank, KG, Edward, Anupam, everybody else. Hey, Rodney. So, Rodney, you in? I think I sent you out the link earlier, right? You might just call up when you get a chance. It's in there. It's a 347 number, just so you know. I get a lot of crazy calls. I think every call now is listed as spam. So I'm not sure what's real and what's not. That's even more confusing. So I just sent out to everybody the opportunity to sign up. If you like what we're doing here, tell your friends, tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. If you want to come in from the outside, tradealonglive.com. That's the registration for this Zoom webinar as a guest. And then we ask you to transition over to a paid subscriber to the service. The opportunity that is part of the service is to take Saul's trading education. Trading education comes bundled with this Trade Along Live session. So you might want to consider that. If you are part of this Trade Along Live session, you'd like to upgrade to Saul's mentoring and his training, then you would do that through me, and I can help you with that. The website, Trade Along Trading Academy, describes the opportunities based on Saul's offerings. He has this Trade Along Live session as a standalone subscription. He has the concept of being able to take you under his wing and teach you in the academy in a private Zoom room, work with you, school you, mentor you, and then provide you with access to this Trade Along Live session as the proving ground and access point to him as you're learning your newfound trading skills, or you're applying your newfound trading skills, I should say. So that's what we do every day. And that's what the opportunity is based on these services. I want to thank everybody for the shout outs on social media. Remember, when you shout out, use the tradealonglive.com domain, and that way they can just register and come in and be part of it. But I appreciate the shout outs. Saul appreciates the shout outs. So, again, tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. Join us on a daily basis from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Again, the trading action, everything is educational purposes only. Nothing is to be taken as direct trading or investment advice. Anything that Saul gives out is a educational opportunity. So this is a Trade Along Live session, educational format only. And obviously, when you come in here, you attest to all that. So we appreciate it.